Fuck you, money. But how do you make enough to do whatever you want, whenever you want? I've been able to pretty much do whatever I want, whenever I want for the past 3 years, and that's all thanks to dropshipping. So in this video, I'm going to reveal the 4 essential steps every dropshipper must take to build a sustainable long-term business. And if you follow these exact steps, I promise you, you can build a business that you're actually proud of so that you can quit your job and live life on your own terms. No more clocking in, no more boss, just pure freedom. But before I tell you how to do it, let me tell you how you're not going to do it. We're not going to be selling cheap junk from China that everyone else is pushing. We're not going to be putting together some shitty Shopify website with some overused template. And we're definitely not going to take 4 weeks to ship a $30 product. That old dropshipping model is dead. Too many people are doing it, and customers are now more aware of the low quality products. They've even started making reels like this. What we're going to do is build a real brand that people love and keep coming back to. A brand that lets you charge premium prices because your products and customer service are so good. The kind of brand that Shark Tank would be interested in. Yeah, Shark Tank. They actually contacted my brand for casting. You don't want your customers to just buy your product once and leave, never to be seen again. You want them to buy from you over and over again because they know your brand delivers quality every single time. When you build a brand, your conversion rates, they increase, your customer satisfaction is higher, you build a stronger reputation, you stand out from your competitors, and you actually build an asset that is one day sellable. Branding is exactly what allows Nike to make shoes for literally $3 but sell them for $300. Do people know that they make their shoes for $3? Yes. Do people care that they are sometimes $1,000 and up for shoes that they're barely ever going to wear? Not really. And to build this kind of powerful brand for your dropshipping business, it starts with picking the right niche and products. No backcrackers, silly pet toys, or lava lamps. Once again, chasing the next trend is entirely dead, and it will leave you constantly searching for the next quote-unquote winning product to try and cash in on quickly before it gets saturated. Instead, what we want to do is find a passion niche with a dedicated following of customers, and these are people who are obsessed with a particular interest or a hobby and are constantly looking for the new, unique products related to that exact niche. And the reason that I discovered this was because my very first successful dropshipping store was selling iPhone and AirPod cases with these hype beast shoe designs. I already knew that there was a huge fan base of people who were in love with these super high-end designer shoes but couldn't actually afford it, obviously, because who can? So what I said is the next alternative was to buy my cases with those shoe designs on them. And guess what? It was selling like crazy. You can sell products with a die-hard cult of people who practically cannot live without their passion. Niches like anime, astrology, doomsday prepping, K-pop music are all amazing options. When you can find and tap into one of these hyper-passionate niches, you're not just selling these random products, you're providing a tribe with new items that they crave, that fit their identity and their lifestyle. You're solving their constant want for new niche related things. That's why the first step is to pick the right niche. You need to find one with an active growing audience of people willing to spend money on related products, not just a short-term fad, but a sustainable interest that will keep a brand relevant for years to come. So how do you actually find a good niche and product opportunity? It takes some time digging, but monitoring what niche groups are getting traction on TikTok and also Instagram, where there are what normal people would call weird, but oddly interesting. Those are usually the most profitable niches that most people don't end up going after. And with a great niche, you then want to build a product line that you can then expand on, just like any real brand. But you can't just pick any old products if you want to build a premium brand. You need to carefully research and test to find items that have real long-term demand and utility for the customers. Products that they will continue purchasing from you time and time again because they are high quality items that actually meet their ongoing needs and desires. We're not looking for cheap novelty items or products that rely on short-lived trends and those fads that you probably see all the time. Unsustainable products, yes, they might spark some initial burst of sales in the beginning, but they don't actually provide any lasting value to the customers. The last thing that you want to be doing is stuck chasing after the next hot thing. That should never be your goal. You want to identify what I call sustainable products. These are items that have stable demand over the long term because they genuinely solve a recurring need or desire that your target customers have. Products they find so useful and essential that they will happily become repeat buyers from your brand. For example, selling novelty mugs or even t-shirts within your specific niche could potentially bring in some initial sales from those excited new customers. But a much better product opportunity would be something like high quality kitchen tools and supplies for people that are obsessed with a particular style of cuisine or cooking. So if you target audiences that love Chinese food, guess what? You sell them a wok. Or if these people, they love Mexican cooking, you sell them a molcajete. These are the types of products your customers will continue to need and want to purchase from you over and over as their existing items they wear out or they want to completely expand out their collection. You're giving them something that they find immense value in, not something that's just cheap that they're just gonna throw away and put on their desk and forget. This is how companies like BlendJet have been able to build incredibly successful brands. They started by focusing on creating the best possible blender products for smoothie enthusiasts. As they built a loyal customer base around their main core offering, they were able to expand out and sell related accessories, supplies, and other products that their audience would just naturally want. That's why step 2 is identifying these coveted sustainable product opportunities. To find great products, you want to start by paying attention to the ads and the content that you get targeted with online. Scroll through different niche hashtags and topics on Instagram and TikTok. Take note of the products that keep coming up again and again in your sponsored posts and For You feeds. The companies and products that you're continuously seeing ads for all these different platforms, guess what? It's likely that they're really successful and they have a real sustainable demand behind. You can also check the Facebook ad library and see how consistently and for how long some of these products have been running those paid ads. Another great way to gauge a product's sustainability is to look at how many competitors are already selling it. If you search for a particular item on AliExpress and see that there are tons of suppliers offering it with massive, large order volumes and reviews, that could be a good sign of legitimate demand. So when evaluating potential sustainable products, key metrics to look at are the following: consistent sales data over the 7 and 14-day periods, not just a short spike; high audience engagement and positive sentiment on TikTok Shop posts; good customer retention rates, so repeat purchasers, not just any one-offs; relevant keywords and search volume indicating real interest; and then signs the product has potential to inspire viral marketing and go beyond the initial novelty, basically go viral. Ultimately, you're looking for products that scratch a very specific itch for your target customers, items that they find so uniquely valuable that they simply have no other choice but to hand over their credit card and will continue purchasing from you to get their hands on the new releases and restock their supplies. But having a great niche and product is not enough on its own. To really take your dropshipping brand to the next level, you need to build a strong relationship with reliable suppliers. You can't just grab any old cheap product from AliExpress and expect to cultivate a premium brand that way. Your products need to be high quality items that your customers will rave about, ones that meet standards for branding, materials, and reliable shipping. That's why step 3 is to take the time to thoroughly vet potential suppliers before going ahead and working with them. Now, the best way to find a reliable supplier for products so customers actually get what they purchase, I recommend that you use AutoDS. Now, AutoDS will literally source any product that you want to sell, and for certain products, AutoDS has connections with local warehouses, and if you get to the point where your orders are coming in really nicely, you're making consistent sales, you're making money, you're doing 10 to 30 orders a day, you can start getting custom packaging and add your own logo on the packaging as well. You can also contact these suppliers on AutoDS to ask questions to verify if they are actually legit and vet them thoroughly before going ahead and working directly with them. Message them through the AutoDS platform and ask a lot of questions. Find out the details about their manufacturing process, what materials that they use, if they offer customization or branding options, what their minimum order quantities are, and what the shipping policies look like. You can even request to have some product samples sent over to you, and you can inspect the quality yourself before placing a full order. As you go back and forth communicating with your different suppliers, you'll start to get a good feel of which ones are truly professional, responsive, and interested in building a real partnership with your brand. Those are the exact suppliers you want to focus on developing a closer relationship with. Now, once you've identified the supplier that you want to work more seriously with, you'll then want to move the communications off of AutoDS and over to WhatsApp or email. This just allows for a more direct conversation to discuss specifics. Now, on WhatsApp, you can share more details about your brand's vision and get to know the supplier better as a person. See if they're willing to be a bit flexible with things like minimum order quantities, branding and customization options, and other policies that are important to your business. A good supplier, they want a true partnership, not just one-off transactions. Now, you can even try negotiating better pricing by showing them your sales numbers and promising that you're going to get consistent orders if they give you some sort of discount. Now, this is totally optional, but you can also verify the identity of the supplier by asking them to send a photo of their hand in the warehouse with like some various signs so that, you know, they're not using someone else's photos of the warehouse and that they actually own it. And this just protects you from getting scammed by ordering a big quantity of units and then maybe you don't get it. It's also going to be wise to have your potential manufacturer send you product samples to inspect before you place any huge order with them. You just need to ensure that their goods meet your quality standards and branding requirements. Once you've found a great manufacturer that you can develop a close partnership with, that's when you can move on to step 4, which is scaling up your branded product line and sales. At this stage, you can even start looking into getting custom product designs, packaging, or accessories created that are specific and unique to your brand. The key is treating your suppliers as valued business partners, not just vendors. When they know that you're serious about quality and committed to growing your brand, they'll go the extra mile to ensure your customers have an amazing experience. And because I went the extra mile to build a good relationship with my supplier back in 2021, when everyone was on lockdown and it was difficult to ship out products, my agent was able to find a very, very unique way to get my products to my customers. So when China shut down exports at the start of the pandemic, all my competitors were stuck unable to fulfill orders, and they ended up having huge issues with refunds, leaving customers dissatisfied and just really damaging their brand reputation. But because I had a close supplier relationship, my supplier was nice enough to work with me and help me reroute my product shipments from China to Japan and then from Japan to the US so that we could keep inventory stocked. Now, not only did this allow my store to continue operating, but it created an opportunity for me to really scale up my ads while my competitors were shut off, really just sitting on their hand. And yeah, so believe it or not, this right here was one of the products that I was selling during the pandemic. I found it. This was the product that she sent from China to Japan and then from Japan to the US. And if you guys remember, during that time when all the gyms were closed, this was a great product because it was an at-home push-up board type of product. You set the board down and then you go ahead and put in these various handles, and then you can come up with different push-up related positions to different parts of your pecs. I became one of the only sources that customers could get the products from, so we had crazy demand. Just building a strong relationship with the supplier can give you the flexibility to navigate these problems. They will pop up, and that's just the reality of running a complex e-commerce business. But when you have the network and the relationships to help you overcome it, it becomes 10 times easier to find a solution. And yeah, that's what separates the big successful dropshipping brands from the forgettable ones. The best brands take the time to carefully choose a passion niche, identify sustainable product opportunities, and build real partnerships with reliable suppliers. When you got all those pieces in place, you can actually work towards building a premium brand that people love, one that customers know will deliver awesome products and customer service every single time. And that's how you build a fan base who will happily pay premium prices and stick around as loyal customers for years to come. So if you're ready to stop playing small games with dropshipping and join me with making fuck you money with dropshipping, make sure you implement everything that I covered today. But there's something that I didn't tell you. Making fuck you money with dropshipping is probably one of the hardest things that you can possibly do if you don't learn from the mistakes of others. That's why I just made a video condensing all my experience from 5 years of dropshipping into a 10-minute video so you don't make the same mistakes I did. Click over here to watch it, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.